So this happened. So welcome to the review of Season 2. In the last episode, we recapped the transfers which we made before the season started. We also looked at the fact that we started the season with a 5-2 victory away from home. So now we are halfway through the season, the 22nd of May 2023. Won 9, drew 3, lost 2, and we are sitting in first place, 2 points clear of 07 Vesta. Maybe it's Vester. Quick shout out that at the halfway point as well, our B team is actually challenging for the second tier. Mainly due to the fact that the young Ukrainian who I decided to hold on to play for the B team is absolutely ripping it up with 16 goals in 9 games. I've switched to the wing-back formation, but at the minute, halfway through, I'm really unsure if we're going to be sticking with it. So the European competition rankings are in, and we have moved up 10 places to ranked 131st. No competition has moved up that far. Let's scroll ourselves all the way down. I mean, we'll get there in the end. Give us a bit of time. 120... There we are. Let's do it so you can see it as well. 131st, we are here. Just behind the French National 3. The Russian, I don't think we can say that. Some other nation. The Denmark 3rd Division. And the local football championships in Greece. So, and League 2 in Scotland. That's how bad we are. We're playing in Europe, but we're worse than the League 2 of Scotland. On a positive, we're ahead of the Highland Leagues. So Fort William... get in the bin. Poor Fort William. I don't even mind Fort William. In terms of the national team, it's not going so well, is it? A 4-1 defeat at home to Israel. We also lost 3-0 to Kazakhstan, but let's not get into that. 4-1 defeat at home to Israel and a 7-1 away to Ireland is not how I hoped the start of this campaign would go. Luckily, the game seems bugged and the board don't expect anything. As far as they're concerned, this competition doesn't even exist. But Jonas Olsson has now made his debut, which is nice. 16 years old, promoted to the Faroe Islands national team. I am trying to convince him to come to us at AB, at Azure. But at the minute, not being too successful with that. I want to continue his development at HB. We've picked up a few signings since you were last with us. We have brought in a new first choice goalkeeper, Alexander Lundin. I decided our old goalkeeper, Nielsen, who's now 37, even though we have to pay him for the rest of the season, he was just getting a bit past it. This guy's all round fairly solid, so I think it's a decent signing, to be honest. We brought up a backup in attacking mid, Dan E. Solu. Sounds very Faroes. Faroes, maybe. And finally, after, when did he get released? Does it say when he got released by his last club? Probably at the end of there though, so probably in November, and we've signed him in May. That's how long I've been trying to sign this guy. Comes on £400 a week. He's my first choice defender of Faroe Islands. He didn't have a club, and he's a very, very solid centre-back. So we've added some good depth. We have added some good depth to them 3 signings, I think. I think so. Our goalkeeper's gone, the American whose contract was running out in the summer. He, again, was on £350 a week. Again, I just didn't think it was worth it. So he's ended up going 2 months early back over to the US. That 2 months early did help massively. So we're now 16 games in, won 10, drew 3, lost 3, still top of the league, still by 2 points, still ahead of 07 Festa, and yeah, things are looking good. Oh yeah, and we also took part in our first ever European campaign. AB versus Lassi from Albania, and I am absolutely delighted. We go through 4-2 on aggregate in the Europa Conference League, 4-2 on aggregate, 3-1 victory at home after a 2-1 defeat, after a 1-1 away from home. I mean, math. 1-1 away from home, we go through. We're into the next round of the Europa Conference League. I mean, we're playing Strømsgodset from Norway, and we're probably going to lose. But we're also in to the quarterfinals of the Cup against HB away from home, and our B team is playing another team from their division in the quarterfinals. So there's a chance our B team is going to get to the semi-final. Oh yeah, and they're also on course to win the second tier. I mean, considering I sacked half of the players in the winter to save money, it's mad. So a little update, Strømsgodset beat us 5-1 away from home. So they ended up winning the tie 7-1 on aggregate, and we do go home. The positive is, you can see down here, we got 387k in prize money so far this season. We've got 78k in the bank, and the reason behind that, straight away, as quickly as I could, I've started investing in the facilities. We are spending £350,000 upgrading our youth facilities. As early as we can, I want to get our facilities up. The fact we've got a huge chunk of money for getting through that first Europa Conference League qualifying stage means we could invest, and we can look at the future. The future, I hear you say. Youth intake come. So this is why we're investing in the youth. We didn't get anything special. This guy's actually not bad. And if our facilities could develop him better, there is some potential there. 14th tackling, 8 for marking, 8 for heading. They could all get above 10. If we go no nonsense, for example, get rid of the composure and stuff. If they could all get around 9, he's not bad. He's not bad. Does need to improve his pace and stuff, but he's not the worst player I have seen. But apart from him, there was nobody who made me jump out. He was okay due to the fact of his personality of perfectionist and his determination, etc. He could maybe develop into something. But I wasn't blown away, but I guess at this level we kind of expected not to develop anything special for the first few years. There are the odd gems popping up though around the youth intakes in Faroe Islands, like that Olsen who's now in the national team. Speaking about the national team, so we've only got one game left of this campaign. We are bottom of the group. We are going to finish bottom due to a -19 goal difference, due to the fact that my team, let's go through it, shall we? Tajikistan, red card. No red card here, we were just shit. Red card against Ireland. No red card here against Lithuania, but 1-1 draw at home to Lithuania, not too bad. Jonas Olsen getting on the score sheet, we'll look at him in a second. Away from home to Denmark, we got a 1-1. Insane. Before 5-1 defeat to Israel, Jonas Olsen on the score sheet again. 3-0 defeat to Ireland. My defender, Natastad, getting the red card. It is what it is. And then a 3-0 defeat at home to Denmark. If we don't get sacked by Faroe Islands, long term I do feel we can develop something. But short term, we are getting spanked all over the place. Like, honestly, we are getting absolutely battered, I would say. It's the best word to describe it. In terms of the squad then, like I said, Jonas Olsen, he's only 17 now. He's been capped 6 times now. He's still valued at pretty much nothing. We can still sign him. And I am hoping we're at a point where we can convince him to come over to our club and be a first choice player instead of staying at HB, who are battling for relegation each season, it seems. He scored 2 goals already for the national team. Now bear in mind, the top goal scorer, our striker Olsen, has 15. I believe Olsen could turn into something very special. But for now, the national team's just about grinding. It's about trying to find a new goalkeeper. At the minute, I'm using this guy, who is the backup to our backup, because I don't think this guy's as good. Yeah, he is the first choice keeper for Goethe, and we using the backup goalkeeper for Goethe. So, yeah, good job us. In terms of the national ranking, we're now down to 138th. I mean, it's yeah, it's not the best, is it? It's not the best of the fact that we've dropped down 14 places since we took over. But back to the positives. As I said earlier, this happened, and we actually played our B team in the final. So it was AB versus AB, and we won 4-3, by the way. And you remember the young Ukrainian from earlier in the video? He finished top goal scorer in the cup and top goal scorer in the second tier with 33 goals. I mean, he doesn't look special, but I'm starting to think maybe he should be given a bit of game time next year, and definitely secured on a longer contract just to help keep scoring goals for the B team. But yeah, we are now the cup winners, first time in the club's history. If we go to the history of the club, you can see here, where is it? Oh, by the way, will that change, or does B team maybe doesn't register? But here we are, cup winners, and we won in 2022 the Faroe Islands under-18s. How did our under-18s do this year? Oh, they came second. But yeah, I did say I wanted to see if it showed up, because our B team won the second tier and got to the cup final. I mean, that's just mad. Like, it's absolutely mad to think that our B team won the second tier after we stripped them of most of their players. Talking about players, we did sign another player, Caleb Chukwuemeka. I feel like I nailed that. English player, he joined us. He was contracted to Aston Villa. He joined Aston Villa for 300k, and he's now playing in the Faroe Islands at £250 a week. Now, he did score 7 goals in 8 starts in the league. He did pick up an injury, unfortunately. He missed the last few games of the season. Now, talking about the last few games of the season, you can see we had 2 defeats and 2 draws in the last, 7 games. So, very, very disappointing only get 3 wins in the last 7 games. And that resulted in us finishing 2 points off top. And to make it worse, in case you haven't clicked on, the final game of the season we drew 1-1 with a red card. If we go over, Prest got a red card on the 73rd minute. Okay, if he had not got a red card and we got a win, we would be league champions on goal difference. Now, what I would say is when this season completes with this playoff, at that point, we will get given our highest ever finish. Last year, finishing 3rd was the highest ever finish for AB. This season, finishing 2nd is the highest ever finish for AB. So we've got to take positives. Now, KI winning the league 2 seasons in a row. They have now gone professional. I didn't actually see that. Oh, that makes it harder. Oh, it's going to be harder next season. The most frustrating thing, I guess, as well, is if we go on transfers. Can I see? I can't see. They signed Licky. I've had him on FM before. He's class. How are they getting players like that? It's not fair. They have already agreed to sign him. And it drives me crazy because I've been trying to sign him all season. I tried to buy him for 40k at the start of the season. Throughout the whole season, I've been watching him. As soon as his contract got to 6 months, I've been sniffing around. Never would speak to me joining KI. So it's very, very frustrating. I feel like we need to overtake them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we could be second best for 3 or 4 seasons. Just due to the fact that they are professional. They semi-professional, okay. Started to panic for a second. So we did well. We did do well to come in second place. We didn't have anyone in top assists, nobody in top goal scorer. That's a worry. That is a worry. Tactically, I'm still very unsure what we're going to play. Again, we've been using this. I've had to drop to a much lower defensive line because I don't know if you've had this in Football Manager. Make sure you comment below if you have. The amount of balls over the top, which my defenders just watch. Like, it's insane how many goals I've conceded from just direct balls into space over the top. So we are trying to put a stop to that. But at the same time, I'm unsure if this tactical setup is the correct tactical setup. In terms of who did perform the best, then top player was Junga with 20 goals in 28 starts, so he's still doing it. Scala with 13 and 33, so he's still again doing very well for us. Coming in near the end of the season, really 10 games in total, all competitions, 8 goals for Caleb. In terms of assists wise, only one player in double figures, which was Prest, picking up the red card at the end of the season, makes me hate him. After that, Scala with 8. Brosson, who we brought in as a potential striker, moved under the wing, been playing wing back recently. He's not performed how I would have hoped. Yes, his technicals weren't the best, but honestly, I thought his mentals and physicals would pull him through. But it's just not. It's not happened. It's not happened, and we can't sell him. We can't afford to. I'm going to drop his agreed playing time to a squad player for the next season and just see how that goes. In terms of wing back wise, I'm going to offer Simonson a new contract, but as a squad player as well. If he doesn't want to accept it, we'll probably let him go, because again, even though he can play multiple positions, he's not done amazing. And he's not been any better than our youngster we signed from KI, who maybe just next season can just go in as our first choice left back or left wing back. Or we look at signing one probably, because we're just not in a good spot tactically, I don't think, at the minute, to be honest. Yes, we've just come second, but I don't have any wingers which excite me. I don't have any wingers which played amazing, which constantly meant I didn't know what formation to use. Linda, who did quite well last year with assists, etc., got 1 assist in the Europa Conference League and 2 assists in the league in 7 games. If you get a chance and come in, you need to step up, not get that many assists. It's been one of them seasons where we've just really struggled to decide what formation we're going to play. But I think in an all-round recap, we can be happy. We expect top half. We came second. We qualified for Europe again. In the Conference League, we went through a round, got drawn against Stromsgodset. So they're a very good side. So yes, we went out. In the Cup, we won it. We are Cup champions. We've won a trophy. We've won silverware in our second season. Looking at the staff going into the next season, then I am gonna let Jonas go. He's been playing for our B team this season mainly, but only 8 games for them, so not a lot of games. So he's not even getting in their squad. He's on £350 a week because he is coaching as well, but we're gonna let him go. I think our assistant manager and head of youth is going to leave if our assistant manager for the under-18s is willing to step up. If he will step up by a mile, he's a better coach, better head of youth. So I'll have him as my assistant manager, and hopefully he'll be with me long term. I think the final one to point out is the fact that our goalkeeper coach / player for the B team, his contract also is running out, and we are definitely letting him go because we need to free up a slot in the coaching team. So financially this season to end with, we have 214k in the bank. In terms of income, if we're going to here, the most last season we got 79k in prize money. This season we got 716k. We got 137k for coming second in the league. We got 100k. Oh no, sorry, 137k for the cup run, and that is because our B team also was getting money for winning in the cup rounds. We got 100k for the league coming second. We got 5k for winning the second tier, and then we got 474k for our Europa Conference League run. Really pleased with that. 209k sponsorship, a little bit less than last season. Gate receipts 129k, which is a lot more than last season. I think that's due to the Europa Conference League. Fundraising, we got a little bit of money, well, double the amount last year. TV revenue, a little bit more up, so that's gone up again, which is nice. Actually, hang on. No, just because Europe Conference League, it's actually gone down from last season. Bit harsh. Match income has gone up as well. Expenditure, this is something I was really excited to look at. So ground maintenance, we spent 330k, but that's huge. The fact that for the first few years I can use my Europa Conference League money to improve facilities, if we can keep doing that, superb. Really happy with that. Players' wages, it's a little bit up, but roughly around the same. Other is bang on exactly the same, near enough. Staff wages, this is massive. 172k last year, 67k this year. Tax is a little bit more. Bonuses is up a little bit more, so maybe we need to look at our bonuses a little bit. Youth setup it's about bang on the same. Non-football costs, etc. as well. Which one's that? Match day, no. Loan repayments, 12k this year, 39 last year. How much do we have left on this? We're paying just 1,000 a month. This was already obviously here when we took the job. A couple of years left on it, but it's not denting us at the minute. We're financially in a very, very strong position with 214k in the bank. But thank you for watching. This was the recap or the playthrough of Season 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this episode. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time as we continue our journey on Build a Nation.